The National Brotherhood of Fathers' Rights welcomes you to an enlightening presentation for fathers in trying situations. Join us for a private audience discussion with Mr. Dennis Gack, founder of the National Brotherhood of Fathers' Rights, and questions by Mike Hill, an NBFR associate. On this audio companion CD, Dennis will give you insights into a wide variety of fathers' rights cases. Mr. Gack has authored the 9 books in the complete Father's Rights Protection System that you've received. He has an extensive legal background with 20-plus years in family law and specifically in fathers' rights cases. He's a source of knowledge that even practicing attorneys turn to for insight and valuable information. This audio companion CD provides legal information, and our information is not to take the place of individual legal advice as obtained by an attorney. This CD is a fast-track primer, giving you a quick review of many common fathers' rights issues. Let's listen in now.
Next area that I want to talk about, it comes up all the time, license suspensions. Driver's licenses or professional licenses or business licenses can be suspended. In 1992, there was a Child Support Recovery Act passed. There was a federal act that basically allowed the states and the federal government to come in and suspend licenses of people who don't pay child support. Contempt applies. Usually they're going to file a contempt of court proceeding against you. They're going to fine you in contempt, or they don't even take you to court and fine you in contempt. What happens is you have a payment through the state. The state issues an administrative order threatening or letter threatening to suspend your licenses. You either don't show up at the hearing or they fine you in contempt anyway. They suspend your licenses. Well, there's good news and bad news. I mean, yes, it can happen. You can get your driver's license suspended. But again, if you take an offensive approach, if you go to court, they're not there to suspend your license. They're there to force you to pay, to try to get leverage on you to pay. So if you walk into court with the same things I've said above about contempt, walk in with a payment plan, walk in with a humble attitude, walk in with an explanation telling them that your non-payment wasn't willful. And let's face it, maybe it was willful. Maybe you're just pissed off at the ex and you didn't want to pay. Either way, you need to create some kind of a palpable story here. Walk in with your tail between your legs and get them to not throw you in jail. Get your driver's license reinstated if that's the case, and go forward. They will do it, guys. We've done this just hundreds of times. If your driver's license is currently suspended, same as I told you before, Mike, about quashing the bench warrant, you can file a simple motion asking for your driver's license to be reinstated. Go on with a payment plan, a humble attitude, and usually they'll try to do something. Unless you're tens of thousands of dollars in arrearage. You're going in to offer a payment plan of $25 and you owe $500,000. Literally, I've had that happen before. I don't know how a guy gets to owe $500,000, but it's happened. A judge may not want to issue your driver's license if you're offering a $50 or $100 payment against a huge child support arrearage. But if anything in the realm of reality being reasonable, they'll reissue it.
Dennis, I have one other question along those lines. I've talked to a number of fathers who have child support payments. Their license has been suspended. They can't go to work, or if they're unemployed, they can't find a job because their license has been suspended. How long before they get their license back if it has been suspended?
Well, it varies from state to state. I mean, I don't know what the local rules are for reinstating a driver's license, but again, once a judge from a court issues an order to reinstate, a copy of that order is taken to the Child Support Enforcement Division, and it's taken to whoever issues the Department of Motor Vehicles or whatever agency in the state that would issue the licenses. They have to reinstate the license. There's a Superior Court judge. And it's going to take, I don't know how long does it take to get a driver's license. It's 2 to 4 weeks, I guess. I mean, you're not going to get it immediately. But they'll reissue the license, whatever the state guidelines are.
Well, that's good to know, because oftentimes the fathers are afraid to drive a car. They can't get a job. They want to pay child support. Their licenses has been suspended, and they're caught between a rock and a hard spot. But if I understand it correctly, they can get that reinstated in 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, they can. And in the meantime, guys, do what you got to do. I mean, you got to survive. I mean, don't sit home and not make a penny because you can't drive and whatever. I mean, I'm not encouraging anybody to break the law, but there are ways to make dough and survive until you can get your license. So One of the biggest areas that we deal with driver's licenses all the time, but I've got professionals calling me, guys who are contractors, have their contractor's license suspended for non-payment of support. That's a huge deal. They can't work, they can't do anything, technically speaking. So all this, getting a handle on things and taking an offensive approach is extremely important, guys. You got to take a proactive approach, and so you don't get yourself into these situations.